Your battle is not with social media, Mrs. Jones, your coworker, or that frenemy that you keep side-eyeing. Your battle is with your mindset. But that's the best part, because that we can take control of. Hey sis, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Yanique, and if you are not, then you'll remember this video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, where a part of it was about comparison, and I felt like we needed to deep dive into that topic. In this video, I am going to break down exactly how we can break free from the trap of comparison. Now, I've been there before. If you have heard my story in my early 20s, because your girl's about to be in her big 35 this year, which is crazy. But a lot of the self-doubt that I faced in that season was because I was comparing myself to my peers and people that I saw on social media. Between MySpace, Facebook, and now Instagram, this was the first time that we really got to see direct access to people's highlight reels and not really understanding that they were in fact highlight reels. So becoming a mom and a wife at 21 meant that I was very much inside, and I am scrolling through social media being almost inundated with all of these images and videos of people my age living their best lives. And in full transparency, I was in a place where I desired and had always desired something different than what my life looked like at that point. And I was trying to reconcile between putting my dreams and aspirations on the back burner, but still very much being happy being wife and mom. Like, I didn't want to trade in my life for those experiences. I just wanted to have those experiences too. So I was struggling, especially because I didn't have a firm grasp on how to excel in the roles that I had at that point. She wanted to be in this video so bad. Honestly, it took away from the joy that I was experiencing in that season that I was missing out on because I was consumed with what I thought life should be and what I was not experiencing. Comment down below if you've ever felt that way too, or maybe you're feeling like that right now. But it reminds me of the Proverbs that says a heart at peace gives life to the body, where envy rots its bones. And there is just no way that we can build our dream lives and get to the best versions of ourselves when we are soaking in comparison. It is a toxic environment that only breeds more and more discontentment, which helps you just spiral further and further into anxiety and just never feeling like you're doing anything or you're not winning in any way, and really missing out on the things that you have accomplished, the prayers that have been answered, all of the good things that could develop if we watered them. So how do we get there? The pivotal moment came to me when I was laying flat on my face, girl, and God was like, baby girl, you are spending so much time looking at everybody else's lives that you're not invested in your own. Hello? We all have different gifts and talents that have been given to us by grace, which means that God has specifically designed you at your core for a particular purpose that you cannot reach or attain if you're discarding your talents completely because you're trying to pick up somebody else's. Your best self, the desires of your heart, the dream life that you are looking to achieve comes out of you using your gifts and your talents. So you have to stop watching what everybody else is doing. And that was the first thing that I did. I actually started with a Daniel's fast, detoxing from social media. It was only supposed to be 21 days, but sis, I was off of Instagram and Facebook for about 1.5 years, I want to say, or maybe close to 2 years. And that is the first piece of advice that I would give you to get you out of the comparisons trap. Stop searching for it. If you are so exhausted after you scroll through social media or so consumed in what person A, B, and C is doing that you are not doing anything to push your life in a direction that you desire it to go in, it's time for you to take a break from social media. If you are feeling jealousy, and it's okay, this is a safe space here, sis. I can tell you, I was jealous. In those early 20s that I speak of, it was jealousy that I was feeling. It's okay. The first step for you to get better, to get in control of your mind and your thoughts, is to call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. Baby, it's not just comparison, it's envy. But you can fix that. You can take control of your mindset. And I promise you, doing a digital detox, a fast, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely step one if social media is a battlefield. And you know how you know that social media is a battlefield for you is when you're seeing people post their wins, you're questioning those wins. Once you start finding yourself questioning why them, not me, oh baby, it's time for a detox, okay? Take some time apart. It doesn't have to be 2 years. I I needed 2 years. You may not be in a position where you need that much of a break from social media. You just have to determine that for yourself. Start 7 days, 21 days, 30 days and stick to it. And at the end of that time period, decide if you should continue or determine if your appetite for social media has been reset and then proceed with caution. But when you go back, you need to curate your feed. Okay. Anybody, and I'm not saying that the creators or accounts that you're following before that made you feel that way were posting negative things or bad things. Our comparison has nothing to do with the behaviors of others. It has all to do with our mindset, but you can control it. So even if they are posting positive things that are going on in their life, if it is sparking envy within you, baby, you can hide them for a period of time while you continue to work on your mindset. You can only control your thoughts and your patterns of behavior. So don't blame that account. Use it as information to where you need to focus on mentally for yourself, okay? But curate your feed. Please do this. Remove accounts that make you have that pang of jealousy. Hide the accounts that you still want to support. So you don't want to remove your follow, but you don't need to be seeing it in your feed right now. Go ahead and hide them and make sure that you are following accounts that make you feel empowered, that give you inspiration without creating comparison. Seek out inspirational accounts or accounts that are focused around new hobbies that you're building or new habits that you're building. Curate your feed in a way that it is building you and you are using social media to your benefit and social media is not using you. Okay. Do not do these things just to tick off a box. I want you to use your digital detox time and even when you start curating your feed to your advantage. And the only way that this is going to help you break free of comparison is if you're actually working on your mindset while you take this break away from social media. So during this time, you need to focus on your gifts, your talent, determining what those are, okay? Focusing on your growth, investing in yourself, reading books like The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer, a great place to start if you are dealing with comparison or self-doubt or being unable to control your thoughts. That is a great book to start with to use this time to be effective, right? You just don't want to go through and have this break from social media and come back and this earring before my earring fell out. You don't want to return from your digital detox in the same place mentally. That literally defeats the purpose, okay? You want to make sure that you are cultivating an environment while you're away to focus on investing in yourself. If it's hard for you to find your strengths and your talents, I want you to start. I know, y'all, we've been talking about journaling a lot, but sis, journaling is so effective, especially if you have not or do not have access to therapy. I think journaling is one of the best things that you can do to really go inside of self and understand why you think certain ways, what your triggers are. So I want you to start with journaling, but journaling specifically about your strength and your talents, your gifts, right? The things that come natural to you. Start asking yourself questions like, what are the things that people compliment me on the most? How do I typically bring value to spaces, to my family, to my friends? What do people usually ask me advice around? What feels easy to me or kind of natural to me? I don't have to put that much effort behind it. Not saying that you don't work on it to get better, but naturally I tend to excel here or do well with this particular gift. These are the questions that you want to start asking yourself, and I'll add some more journal prompts down in the description box or here on the screen, whatever editing Yanique decides to do, to help you get to a better understanding or a better perspective of what your strengths and your talents are. And then I also want you to set personal goals, both short-term and long-term goals, and then break those down into smaller, manageable, measurable steps. That way you continue to compare your progress to yourself, okay? Because I have all of these different action steps to take to reach this goal, now I have a better idea of, Yanique, what is your progress? Not comparing myself to somebody else's progress when I don't even know what their long-term goals are. I know exactly what I'm working towards. How am I doing against myself? Am I doing better than I was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? Then great. I am still working step by step towards my desires and my best self. And then sis, celebrate them. Celebrate all of your wins, even the smallest of them. Celebrate them. If you are coming out of a comparison trap, the best thing that you can do to stay consistent in coming out of that comparison trap is to celebrate your wins. We don't do this enough. It's easier for us to celebrate somebody else than ourselves. It's easier for us to recognize how this person is progressing and how well they're doing and how they are just absolutely killing it in the different facets of our life. And then yeah, it's easy to fall trapped to comparison because it's hard for us to look back and see how we're winning if we're not paying attention to it or we're not keeping a log of how we're winning. So I do this on my phone. Y'all know I'm a digital girl, okay? If you want to write it down, sis. If you want to make a little jar, make a jar. However you are wired, you're going to do the same activity, but in the way that resonates with you. So I'm a digital girl. I keep receipts on my phone, okay? Because I'm a content creator and my comparison will tends to be in the content creation space. What I will do is I'll take screenshots of your comments or messages that people will send to me saying how, you know, something really helped them or inspired them in some way, because that's what's going to keep me going on your job. Keeping receipts for good reviews, when you reach your KPIs or exceeded them, when you have a glowing comment from a supervisor or a customer, when you are featured in a magazine, milestones with your kids that you can take some credit for, okay? Because my baby just finished middle school, testing incredibly well across the board. You did that, sir, but so did I. I contributed to that success. I'm gonna put that down as a mom win, okay? Your kids are quoting scripture. It's a mom win. Write it down. You just need to take account of all of the ways that you're winning so that on the days that you feel like I am taking a lot of loss in this season, or I'm so confused in this season, or I find myself comparing myself to somebody else's actions in progress, let me go back to this collection of wins that I have to remind me who I'm is. That girl is right here. I have my own proof. I don't even need to rely on somebody else to pour into me at this particular time because I've already poured into myself to give myself this log of wins along the way. Take that stress off your brain, sis. It is, especially because we manage so many different things and all of the different roles that we carry. When you are in crisis or survival mode, or just like your mind is spiraling down like this, it's hard to remember these things. Take that pressure off of yourself, write it down, keep a log. When you're having that sad day, flip that thing open and remind yourself who you are, where you've already been, what you have already accomplished, and that helps you focus there and gets you closer to a point of contentment. Again, while you strive for better, because contentment doesn't mean I am completely okay with this place, I don't have to move nowhere else. That's not what contentment means. Contentment means I am grateful for the season that I'm in, for the experiences that I've had so far, that I can maintain a level of joy, a level of peace, even if it's a little chaotic, while I strive for better and for more. Because both can be true. I can be happy today while looking for a better tomorrow. Paul talks a lot about this. As one of them disciples, Paul wrote a lot of the New Testament, and he talks so much about contentment and living life with the thorn in his side and how he was grateful for the thorn of his side. I tend to go to Paul's writings when I am struggling with comparison or even contentment or gratitude for whatever season or struggle that I'm currently walking through. In fact, there's a verse, Philippians 4:11-13. I'm reading from the NIV. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. We like to focus on the I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength without focusing on all the other stuff he said before we got there. Okay? Because he said, despite it all, whatever circumstances I've been through, I know how to be content. And for me, having a consistent gratitude journaling practice helps me with contentment. And I mean, clearly, having a walk with God, with a personal relationship with Jesus, is a prerequisite, okay? Gratitude journaling just keeps that in the forefront, especially when I'm doing it every single day. I talked about this practice more in the last video, so I'll link that up in the cards so that you can go and watch that if you want a little bit more of a deep dive. Earlier in this video, I talked about the book, The Battlefield of the Mind, and how much that helped me really capture thoughts and self-doubts and take control of my mindset. And it was my therapist who told me about this book. And if you have access to resources like therapy, please use them. If you have insurance through your job or, through the marketplace, use your insurance to find therapists that do accept insurance, that, you probably just have a small copay, or sometimes it's even covered 100% through your insurance. But sis, if you have access to therapy, please, if you are struggling to a place where it is crippling for you, where comparison is crippling, where you can't focus on yourself, or that comparison has really turned to envy or jealousy, or you feeling completely inadequate, go to therapy. But when you get there, you have to be open and vulnerable with your therapist in order for it to work. Okay? Your therapist is not going to pry you open. They are not going to be able to help you if you don't tell them, this is the challenge that I'm struggling. When I open social media, when I talk to a girlfriend or a former classmate or my coworker, and she's sharing the good things that's happening in her life, I am feeling jealous, and I'm consumed with everybody else's life except for mine. Help me. That's how open you have to be with therapy in order for it to work. You cannot get there and just be like, okay, I'm here now. I'm in therapy. The goal of therapy, just like everything else in this video, is not just to tick off a checkbox. You need to be completely open and vulnerable, even to yourself. Face your truth so that you can get on the other side of this, so that you can overcome comparison. Will you commit to yourself, to bettering your mindset? Will you commit to limiting social media for a period of time in order to be the catalyst for this change? Let me know down below in the comments if you're going to be going through a digital detox, and if you are interested in more personal growth, help, inspiration, motivation video, whatever you want to call it, sis. Click this video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.